Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Stuart Robson, Craig Burley and Stevie Nicol. Stuart, I wonder if you know that Craig Burley has got a little side job right now as Stevie Nicol's chauffeur. What do you talk about in the car?
Yeah, I'm sure his car would be cleaner.
Go on, Robbo.
I'm sure Craig's car is much cleaner than Stevie's. The last time I went in Stevie's car, there was mess all over the seats. It was a terrible. I hope he doesn't do that to Craig's car. That'd be criminal.
The front seats are clean, Robbo, but unfortunately the three dogs have muddied the waters a little bit in the back. But he doesn't sit in the back.
I was going to say, you don't make him sit in the back, do you?
No way. He's not sitting in the back. No chance. He's getting out. I open the door and throw. He's getting out.
Do you play music or do you have a chat?
Well, depends what I decide, doesn't it?
I'm quite interested in this dynamic.
Well, I've got a cap.
Hey,
got a cap.
I don't want you asking him. I'm the one in charge. He's the driver. I'm the one in charge.
I'm not supposed to be on today.
Excuse me.
I'm only here, but I'm like...
James.
Sorry, boss.
I decide. Okay.
Do you get a little beep then at the door, or does he come up to the door?
He actually opened the door for me.
And then I didn't know this, but I haven't had a tip yet. But I didn't know the chauffeur's job was also to put the cast on.
He's my footman as well. He's a driver and a footman.
Would you do the same for him?
Absolutely.
All right.
Of course I would.
And how long is he going to have to drive you to work?
Oh, as long as I want.
Well, I drive the whole family. Last week, I drove him home from work to a local car garage where his wife was dropping the car off to be serviced, and then I drove the family home.
There's definitely a future in it for him.
Yeah.
If things don't work out here,
as well, there's.
I'll give you a good write-up. Don't worry.
You don't begin me like 4 stars.
What a nice guy, Craig Burley, huh?
5 stars.
Robbo, are you going for Spanish citizenship? What are you there for?
I will be by Monday when I go home. I think there's still a long time to go over here, but we've got the pleasure of going to Barcelona and all that goes with it. You know, and Kay knows how lovely Madrid is. We haven't seen that much of it.
What other games are you doing?
I'm doing the 2 Barcelona games that are coming up, Villarreal on Thursday and then the one on Sunday. So looking forward to both of those, but a little downtime in between, apart from being on the show here.
Now, after you left us on Sunday night, because it was 4.5 hours after the game finished, which I took great pleasure in seeing him.
You did, but you forget that Madrid's a 24-hour city.
Yeah, but they're not. He's too old.
Did you
go out to the karaoke bar? Because you know that's where he wanted to take you.
He said he's a reformed character, he said to me. He said, you know, when I used to come to Madrid, I used to do all sorts of things. I don't know what he meant by all sorts of things, but he said, I'm a reformed character. He had a couple of Coca-Colas. No, seriously, he had a couple of Coca-Colas.
How much did he pay for you to say that?
No, he didn't pay me anything. I mean, he was on his best behaviour. And I've never seen him misbehave before, so it was just his usual behaviour, but he was in good form. He went to bed very early, a little bit earlier than I did, and he was up bright and early the next morning to catch his flight home.
Something's
very early, 4 a.m. in the morning.
To be fair, it's a good thing that he was on Coca-Cola or whatever and not alcohol, because he can't drink chicken soup. If he drinks chicken soup, he gets drunk.
Gone.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. If he drinks chicken soup, he's drunk.
I say all this like I don't know, like I didn't used to live in Madrid at the same time as Dan.
So he is coming back. We were talking.
He is coming back. I'm talking to him today. We have, and the first one's for you.
Bye.
Oh, what a lovely question as well. For Craig, please take us through your Ballon d'Or journey that was yesterday.
Well, I was sat at home. It was a day off. You guys were in working. I think that might have been a strategic move from above. And I was sat on my Twitter because I was bored stiff, and I thought, how long is this bloody Ballon d'Or thing taking?
Oh, so you actually knew it was going on?
Well, because that's how Twitter works. People were tweeting out about it. So I was waiting to see who won, because I was just holding my breath.
So you were interested?
No, I just wanted to know why. I was quite intrigued to know why the best striker on the planet, as he was given the award, the Gerd Müller, I know too much about this. He was given the Gerd Müller award for the best striker on the planet, right? Was beaten to the main award by the guy who wasn't the best striker on the planet. Weird, isn't it? But some these awards up. And by the way, what about Jude Bellingham? Great. He got to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid? or Bayern Munich.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
I can't remember the answer to this. So when people vote, do they get like, they have to get a top 5? So they're the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, 4, 5? Is that how they do it?
Yeah, it's top 3.
Right.
They got 3 choices. Anyway, Benzema
right.
deserved it, you know what I mean? But the whole thing's a sham, isn't it?
Okay, but you did put a tweet out about it.
Did I?
I think so.
Oh,
You did
yeah.
put a Ballon d'Or related tweet out.
Well, I didn't call it the Ballon
boring.
d'Or. I called it the Barcelona and Real Madrid Awards,
Okay.
which it basically is. I mean,
We wondered if when you didn't turn up yesterday.
well, I did not turn up. I wasn't.
Okay,
I
you
wasn't
weren't on
scheduled. I mean,
schedule.
there might be some really high up bosses watching this.
We thought maybe you were going to pop up on the stage and be presenting it.
There you go. Have this. Listen, everybody takes it differently. Joe seemed to like it.
Robbo, do you like the Ballon d'Or?
Absolutely not. I couldn't give a monkeys really. I know who won it, and he deserved it, and great. It's a great individual award. Would I watch the programme? Absolutely not. So boring. I'm with Craig on that one.
Exactly, honestly.
Right.
Honestly.
Stevie, speaking.
Team of the year, Man City. I know why it was.
Club of the year.
Club of the year.
Yes.
Because they had the most nominees. Because I saw Sid Lowe tweeting about it, so I jumped on the back of that. A few rude words. And it turns out, because Real Madrid won La Liga and the Champions League, but Man City had more nominees. I mean, spare me.
How do you get the Club of the Year?
Club of the year, looking
You
at
have
the
most
club overall.
nominees. No, it's not.
Most
You have the
nominees,
mo- oh, I
but
don't
then
know.
still you've got to look at that.
Nobody knows
the
anything
women's
about-
team, the men's team, what they're doing, what they're doing as a club. That's. I'm not saying I would vote for that.
See,
but
that's
I'm
why
saying
I
it's the
wasn't
club
in
of the
yesterday.
year.
My boss knows I'm just don't know what I'd...
I think Craig's quite interested in the Ballon d'Or, though, for someone who doesn't like
questions.
it.
Into that.
All right, Stevie, when will we get to see your golden left arm?
When was it ever golden, by the way? Tell me.
Well, how do we know? Maybe you've had a false
gonna be a
arm put on
while.
and it's a gold arm.
I've got to tell you, I'm shocked.
It's a false arm he's got now.
I had no idea.
He had it amputated.
Seriously, I had no idea I was going to have this on for so long. Because they told me to start with, 46 weeks or sometimes 68, and I'm like, I'll have this thing off in a couple of weeks, don't worry about it.
And it's bothering you more now than it did in the beginning, right?
It's worse now than it was when I got it done.
Poor Stevie.
You'll be back boxing before you know it. He'll be in the ring.
You hope, so you don't have to
he'll
keep
be-
taxiing him around.
No, he'll be fighting fit.
I'm actually getting quite comfy in his cap.
I'm afraid, Kate. I haven't got a monitor here, so I can't see Stevie. But the last time I did see Stevie, he was moaning about his beard and spots underneath his beard. Is that still the case now, Stevie?
No.
He's cleaned himself up.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively.
He's looking dashing.
Yeah.
He's looking
Quite.
dashing.
Dashing?
Yes. Robbo, Real Madrid feels like a team that knows how to suffer. Even when the run of play is against them, they seem comfortable. How does the team acquire that quality? Is that what teams like PSG and City have been missing to win a Champions League?
Yeah, I think because Man City and PSG, they want to dominate games. They don't feel comfortable when they haven't got the ball. They're not quite sure when they might be being outplayed, how to defend against it. And Real Madrid do. They're quite happy not to have the ball at times. They know and trust their shape. They know and trust each individuals. They work as a team, and they know if they are being outplayed, they can always be a threat on the counter, and they can always change their style of play if they do go down to get back into the game, as they did against PSG last year, as they did against Man City last year. And they've got that belief, and the manager's got the belief, and he stays calm. So there's a lot of good things about Real Madrid at the moment, and there has been for the 18 months that Ancelotti's been there. And I think they'll have another good season winning La Liga.
Do you think that can be passed down as well, that belief? When you have that winning DNA, that even when new players come into a team, they feel that everything's in their favour because they're in that team. Is that something that can be carried over?
Yeah. I mean, in the show I was talking about, you have a core and then you add to it. So when you've got a team that's doing that and then you're adding bits on, everybody starts thinking the same way.
Right.
I mean, it is as simple as that. It's very hard to get it, but it's as simple as that. And as Robbo said, the most important thing for me is Real Madrid can win the game different ways. PSG and City can only win it by going that way, because they can't do it if they have to defend. Whereas Real Madrid can win it if they want to dominate you, but they can also sit tight, as Robbo said, and then do you on the break.
I'm worried that word has reached the Metropolitana of our banjoing of Diego Simeone, and he's going to appear behind Robbo carrying a large axe or something.
Yeah.
Hit him over the head.
If he comes anywhere near me, I'll just say I love it. It's all Craig and Stevie in the studio. I love you. You know, you're a great manager. I think you're a top class coach, and you deserve all that money you get. Don't worry, I can be a turncoat if I need to be.
I feel like you were going to put your money on Robbo in that battle there.
No, I was thinking about during the show. I thought the police were coming to take Robbo away. There was a police car. I could hear it. I thought, is this Robbo? Is he not supposed to be standing where he is?
Well, he's still there right now.
Well,
but the next
What the hell time must be nearly 1 o'clock in Spain.
half past midnight.
Wow.
12:30 it is at the moment.
Hey,
So that's
man of the
very
world,
good.
this guy. Hey,
Ask me a country and I'll tell you the
Hong
time.
Kong.
Don't you?
Hong Kong.
3:30.
Ireland.
Guinness o'clock. Guinness o'clock.
Brazil. Hey,
Real time.
We're going round the world now. We're going round
Brazil's
the
only an hour difference, is that right?
I can't even
Depends what
remember.
part
And
you
I've
go
been
to.
there. You've been there.
Depends
I don't
what
know.
party you go to.
What part of
have you been
Brazil?
Ah,
Have you been to Brazil?
yeah. Depends what part you
What
go
part
to.
did you go to?
The time difference.
I've never heard of that before.
Aye. If you go to Rio,
America.
it's one time, and if you go to, I'm trying to think the name of what's the other city? The big city.
Brasilia?
No.
Sao Paulo.
Sao
Sao
Paulo?
Paulo. It's a different time
I tell you
zone.
what,
Different time zone, same country.
Those were the days at the World Cup in 2014, splashing up and down the Copacabana. Oh, it was amazing.
And we missed each other. I never saw you.
No, I was working.
I was working too, just not
working
for
splashing
ESPN.
up
I was in the ESPN hotel though.
I wasn't. I was
Yep.
working my fingers to the bone.
All right, it's for
Like
Stevie.
Rob was.
By the way, I got sent to scout, and I stayed in a hotel in a Copacabana. It was fantastic. I was there a week. A week.
Do you know the only problem I had when I was
Brilliant.
there? Supporters.
Support,
When I
stopping you.
was busy.
Stop.
No, not
Right.
stopping us. It was just busy with supporters.
Oh, it was busy. It was very busy. I think it's the
Yeah, they
same
never
time.
stopped them. They just shouted at him, called them names.
I think it's the same time in Sao Paulo and Rio. You know.
Yeah, he's talking nonsense.
Yeah.
You can't
All right,
believe it.
come on.
All right.
Operator.
So Stevie. How long before Pep starts to think maybe I shouldn't have sold Jesus and Zinchenko to Arsenal and helped them become a title rival?
Nah, not at all. He's forgotten their names by now. Absolutely.
There is a little smiling emoji at the
Yeah.
end of that
No,
tweet.
he doesn't know who they are anymore.
All right. Robbo, who'll be a bigger miss at the World Cup for their respective country? Kante or Reece James? I'll get you on this as well.
Oh, Kante, I would imagine, because he's a World Cup winner already and he's a top-class player, and when he's playing at his very best and he's fit, he's probably the best holding midfield player in world football, and he can, when he needs to, he can make up ground and be an attacking player as well. Reece James has been excellent for Chelsea this season. He hasn't always played well for England, and England have got one or two other right-backs. They've got one that can go forward but not defend. I can let you know who that is. And of course, they might not have Walker either. So it's a blow for England, but Kante for France not being there is a bigger blow.
He's not going to make the squad, is he? Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not going to take him. He doesn't. I mean, even when he was playing well-ish, he didn't pick him.
But even without Reece James?
He'll play Trippier.
Walker. Oh,
Well,
Walker may not go.
He'll play Trippier because
Yeah,
Trippier's a good player, right? But he's a safe pair of
But
hands.
make the squad.
You got to think he makes a squad. I mean, I hear
Actually,
people,
you know, one of the things I think he might do, I might be wrong, but he might take Ben White from Arsenal, who is a centre back and he's played right back. It's kind of covering different positions. Go back to this: is the English arrogance is out already. I saw a headline in the paper today because Reece James is out and Diego Jota's out now for Portugal and Kante for France. The headline for England was great news for England. Kyle Walker could be fit for the latter stages of the competition.
Assuming that they're going to get to the latter stages of the competition.
I mean, I'm assuming they've already got the victory route all panned out.
Well, why enter a competition if you don't think you're going to win it?
oh,
God dear.
what a lame comeback that was.
you know.
Anyway, I think
That's a lame comeback.
I think if Walker was fit, Walker for me, if Walker
Do you
was
think, by the way, do you think Wales think they're going to win it? Hey?
the US could.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
The only thing I'd say,
Really?
Craig, is have
Yeah.
you seen England's England's group?
Yeah.
If England can't get out of that group, then Southgate will be fired very, very quickly.
Oh, come on. You're employed, Robbo, by this across the pond American people. Can't talk about the US men's national team like that.
But the press will
Well, I'm
never
going to put
change.
Darky in a little bit of trouble because Darky said that they're no good. The US. He told me that they're no good. Can't play. They won't challenge England. Yeah,
They've got to fight us,
But we're not having that.
there we have it.
He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
So we can't take that from Stuart Robson.
That was a good line from.
I am joking.
That was a good line
you
from Ian in the commentary, wasn't it? When he said it's him again. When he scored Benzema, and didn't need much more than that.
Yeah.
Did it? But it's him again. It's just unbelievable, isn't it?
That's why he's one of the best.
What, Ian or Karim?
Both, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah, both. Robbo, do you think players are worried about not getting injured before the World Cup, and could that impact the way they play now?
What was the question? That they're frightened. They might not get in the squad, or worried about getting into the squad, and they might
worried
not give 100%
worried about getting
because they
injured.
don't want
Worried
to get
about
injured.
getting injured. Yeah, getting injured. Do you think they're worried about that?
I don't know. Yeah. I can't believe there's any player that would go into Premier League games or La Liga games or Serie A games, Italy aren't at the World Cup, or Liga games and say, I'm not going to put 100% in because I'm going to try and protect myself for the World Cup. If you play like that, you've got more chance of being injured and causing yourself a problem. If you don't train properly, you might not be fit enough to play the games and you might pull a muscle. If you're a top-class player and a good professional, you will play as hard as you can from now to the World Cup, whether you're going to be picked or not.
He'll have the same scenario, but when we went to the World Cup in '98, it was the championship that year in Scotland went down to the last game. So there was no respite for any of that nonsense. But Rob was right.
There will be some, though.
When you start dangling your leg in a 50-50 challenge, you get injured. But it is in your head. You can't get it out of your head. I mean, Gary McAllister was our captain. Fantastic player, Gary. And he ruptured his anterior cruciate 3-4 months before and missed the biggest event, one of them, of his career. So it is in your head if something could happen, but you can't let that affect, particularly if you're playing the competitive games all the way to the end of the season.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're mid-table, you ain't going down, you ain't winning anything, you ain't getting in Europe, you ain't winning the league.
Yeah.
If you're playing in a team like that, then I think 100% you're looking after yourself.
Speaking about looking after yourself, what are going to be your requests on the way home, on the drive home tonight?
Speeding, no speeding. Temperature in the car, I would imagine.
Yeah, left-hand turns. Take it easy.
Little drive-through to a takeaway.
Although he's
No, just get me home.
his satellite
safely.
His satellite navigation skills were needing polished. He made me go past a couple of turns.
I'm a good boss.
Okay, so I know he doesn't sit in the back where the dogs go, but does he sit in the passenger seat next
I
to you
sit where I
or
want to sit.
behind?
Excuse me.
Behind you like an Uber.
You're asking the wrong person.
Where do you sit, Stevie?
Wherever I want to sit.
Where are you going to sit on the way home?
I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know, James.
Well, it's whatever door he goes and stands at, and then I have to open it.
There you go.
So I don't know.
Don't worry, I will let you know in due course.
I would love to have a camera in that car, and that could be our extra time. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Anyway, thank you so much for sending in your questions. We'll let Robbo finally get some rest. ESPN FC is available 7 days a week. No doubt
He's
Rob...
there for another week. He's got all day lying in
Exactly,
bed.
so he needs some rest.
Tomorrow.
But no doubt he'll be stood outside some other stadium tomorrow talking to us.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.